Watching people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, or even 90s maintain their strength, move with confidence, climb stairs, and live life on their own terms is truly inspiring. Preserving leg strength and mobility as we age isn't just admirable, it's a vital sign of independence and overall well-being. But the truth is, this kind of aging doesn't happen by luck. Seniors who stay strong and active well into their later years usually do so with intention. They embrace a healthy lifestyle, stay physically active, and make sure their bodies get the nutrients they need. Unfortunately, our modern food supply doesn't offer the same nutritional value it once did, thanks to soil depletion and industrial farming practices. Many essential nutrients are now present in lower amounts than our bodies require. As a result, more and more people, especially older adults, turn to supplements to fill those gaps. While supplements can be beneficial, there's a growing problem. Some of the very vitamins we take to support our health may actually be causing harm. In fact, they could be quietly weakening your leg strength, balance, and mobility without you even noticing. In this video, we'll uncover 5 commonly used vitamins that, when misused or taken in isolation, can seriously undermine your physical strength. And the last one on this list may be the most dangerous of all. But before we dive in, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Doing so helps us share this essential information with others, especially those who deserve to maintain their independence and strength for as long as possible. Let's begin with the first vitamin, vitamin D. Vitamin D is essential for strong bones, healthy muscles, and overall mobility, especially as we grow older. It helps your body absorb calcium, boosts immune function, and plays a key role in muscle performance. So how could something so beneficial possibly weaken your legs? The answer lies in balance. Vitamin D works best when paired with 2 other critical nutrients, vitamin K2 and magnesium. Without these companions, your body may struggle to manage calcium properly. That can lead to calcium being deposited in the wrong places, like your arteries, joints, and muscles. And that's where the trouble begins. Studies show that too much vitamin D without enough K2 and magnesium can lead to leg cramps, muscle weakness, stiffness, and even pain. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition highlighted that an imbalance between vitamin D and K2 can raise the risk of arterial calcification, which may impair blood flow and muscle function in the lower body. It's also important to note that consistently taking high doses of vitamin D, more than 4,000 IU per day, without proper nutritional balance can lead to toxicity. This can disrupt your body's mineral balance, causing symptoms like fatigue, muscle weakness, and impaired neuromuscular function. So, what's the most effective way to supplement with vitamin D? For best results, it's important to maintain a balanced ratio of vitamin D3 to vitamin K2. The ideal ratio is 1,000 IU of vitamin D3 paired with 10 micrograms of vitamin K2. To put it into perspective, for every 1,000 IU, or 25 micrograms of D3, you should include 10 micrograms of K2. That means if you're taking a daily dose of 5,000 IU, 125 micrograms of vitamin D3, it's advisable to pair it with 50 micrograms of K2 for proper balance. Additionally, don't overlook magnesium, an essential mineral that not only activates vitamin D in the body, but also helps prevent calcium from accumulating where it shouldn't. Without sufficient magnesium, your body may not be able to use vitamin D effectively, which can lead to issues such as calcium overload and unwanted side effects. Now, let's talk about the second concern, calcium. While not technically a vitamin, calcium is heavily promoted to seniors as essential for preserving bone strength. The idea is that by taking calcium supplements, older adults can reduce their risk of fractures and maintain strong bones. But the reality may surprise you. When taken improperly, calcium supplements can do more harm than good. In fact, calcium taken in isolation without the support of vitamins D3, K2, and magnesium can actually impair your mobility and increase your risk of falls. That's because calcium doesn't automatically find its way into your bones. It needs those companion nutrients to guide it to the right places. Without them, excess calcium can deposit into soft tissues, like arteries and muscles, causing stiffness, poor circulation, cramps, and even leg pain. A 2010 study published in the British Medical Journal found that calcium supplementation without vitamin D was associated with a higher risk of heart attacks. More recently, a study in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society showed that high-dose calcium supplements did not significantly reduce fracture risk in older adults. In other words, taking calcium alone might not only be ineffective, it could be dangerous. Excessive calcium supplementation has also been linked to muscle weakness and reduced mobility. Here's the key takeaway. It's far more beneficial to get your calcium from food rather than from pills. Why? Because calcium from whole foods is absorbed slowly and naturally, alongside other nutrients that help your body utilize it effectively. This reduces the risk of unwanted calcium buildup in soft tissues. To support your calcium needs safely, try incorporating foods like dark leafy greens, sesame seeds, sardines, almonds, tofu, and low oxalate vegetables such as bok choy into your daily meals. These sources provide calcium in a bioavailable form your body can actually use, without the risks associated with excessive supplementation. For seniors, it's best to limit calcium supplements unless specifically advised by a healthcare provider and paired with the right co-nutrients like vitamin D, K2, and magnesium. Ignoring this balance could lead to a slow but serious decline in leg strength, ultimately compromising your ability to stay mobile and independent. Now let's explore vitamin A, a nutrient that might surprise you. While it's essential for vision, immunity, and skin health, too much vitamin A can pose a hidden risk to your leg strength. Unfortunately, many seniors are unknowingly consuming far more than they need. How does this happen? It's simpler than you think. A typical senior may be taking multiple supplements, a multivitamin, a bone support formula, and perhaps an immune booster. Many of these products contain vitamin A, and when taken together, they can result in overlapping doses. Without realizing it, you may be consuming 2 to 3 times the recommended daily intake. Here's where the danger lies. Vitamin A is fat-soluble, meaning your body stores the excess in your liver and fatty tissues. Unlike water-soluble vitamins like C and B complex, which are excreted when in excess, vitamin A accumulates over time, and that can lead to toxicity. What does this mean for your legs? Research shows that too much vitamin A can lead to muscle wasting, bone thinning, fatigue, joint discomfort, and an increased risk of fractures. All of these issues directly threaten your mobility and stability, putting your independence at risk. A recent review published in the New England Journal of Medicine revealed that prolonged high intake of vitamin A is linked to reduced bone mineral density and an increased risk of fractures, especially in older adults. This deterioration can directly affect leg strength and significantly raise the chances of falls. According to experts, the maximum safe limit for adults is 3,000 micrograms or 10,000 IU of preformed vitamin A per day. That total includes all sources, supplements, fortified foods, and dietary intake. While beta-carotene, the plant-based form of vitamin A, is considered safer, it too can build up in the body when taken in high doses through supplements. That's why it's essential to read labels carefully, especially if you're using multiple vitamins. You may be unknowingly consuming excessive vitamin A, which over time could chip away at your leg strength, energy levels, and overall independence. Now let's turn to vitamin E, another important nutrient that's often misunderstood. It's widely praised for its antioxidant benefits and heart protective effects. But there's a critical piece of information that many, especially seniors, overlook. Improper or excessive intake of vitamin E can actually lead to muscle weakness and declining vitality. The biggest red flag lies in the synthetic form of vitamin E, often listed as D-L-alpha-tocopherol. This type is commonly found in inexpensive multivitamins and supplements. However, research shows that D-L-alpha-tocopherol is processed differently in the body compared to the natural form and may not offer the same benefits. In fact, high doses of synthetic vitamin E have been associated with muscle fatigue, reduced strength, and impaired neuromuscular function, particularly in older adults. Even natural forms of vitamin E, such as D-alpha-tocopherol, can be risky when taken in excess. Like vitamin A, vitamin E is fat-soluble, meaning it accumulates in the body over time. Too much of it can interfere with vitamin K, thin the blood excessively, and negatively impact muscle and nerve health. Research has found that daily doses exceeding 400 IU may increase the risk of all-cause mortality and diminish muscle performance, especially among aging individuals. Balance and moderation are essential. For older adults, the recommended daily intake is around 15 milligrams, or 22.4 international units, from both food and supplements combined. Staying within these limits helps avoid unwanted side effects while still reaping the benefits vitamin E can offer. So, what's the most effective and safest way to get vitamin E? It's best to prioritize tocotrienols, the more potent and protective form of vitamin E, and to obtain them from whole food sources rather than from high-dose, isolated supplements. Tocotrienols are naturally found in red palm oil, rice, bran oil, annatto, and a variety of nuts and seeds. These foods provide antioxidant benefits without the risks associated with elevated levels of tocopherols, the common form found in synthetic supplements. If your diet already includes plenty of healthy fats, nuts, seeds, and plant-based oils, you may not need to supplement with vitamin E at all. But if you do choose to supplement, make sure to opt for a mixed tocotrienol formula and keep your intake at a moderate, safe level. The goal is to enhance your vitality, not to unintentionally weaken your body's ability to move freely and confidently. Now we arrive at vitamin B6, which, among all the vitamins discussed today, could pose the greatest risk to your leg health, especially if taken in excess. Vitamin B6 plays a critical role in protein metabolism, brain function, and the production of neurotransmitters. It's essential for nerve health, red blood cell creation, and cognitive performance. Your body needs it. The problem lies in how much people are actually consuming, mainly through supplements. For adults over 50, the recommended daily intake of vitamin B6 is between 1.5 and 1.7 milligrams. Yet, many over-the-counter supplements contain 50, 100, or even 500 milligrams per serving, sometimes thousands of percent beyond what the body truly needs. Although B6 is water-soluble, which usually allows the body to excrete the excess, at high levels, it can accumulate and become toxic over time. What kind of damage does this cause? Research shows that chronic high-dose B6 intake, especially at levels above 500 milligrams daily, can lead to nerve damage. The first symptoms often appear as tingling, numbness, burning, or a pins and needles sensation in the feet and legs. If left unaddressed, this can progress to muscle weakness, coordination problems, and difficulty walking. For seniors, this could mean losing the ability to stand confidently, climb stairs, or stay mobile, threatening independence and quality of life. Even more concerning, a recent neurology study found that long-term use of high-dose B6 supplements can result in sensory neuropathy, a nerve disorder that severely impacts leg function and may persist even after supplementation stops. If you're taking a multivitamin, B complex, energy booster, or mood-enhancing supplement, it's essential to check the total amount of B6 you're getting. Many people unknowingly consume excessive doses of B6, believing it's safe simply because it's water-soluble. But when it comes to protecting your nerves and your legs, this assumption can be dangerous. The best approach is to get vitamin B6 from whole food sources like bananas, chickpeas, salmon, and potatoes. And if you do need a supplement, make sure the dosage stays within a reasonable range, around 10 to 20 milligrams per day, unless a healthcare professional has specifically prescribed a higher dose for a short-term medical reason. Additionally, it's important to be aware of another critical caution. If you are supplementing with vitamin B9, also known as folic acid or folate, you must also ensure you're getting adequate levels of vitamin B12. Why? Because high levels of B9 can mask the symptoms of a B12 deficiency, particularly in lab tests. A deficiency in B12 can lead to serious nerve damage, which can impair leg strength, balance, and neurological function. To protect your nervous system and preserve mobility, make sure your B12 comes in a highly absorbable form, such as methylcobalamin or adenosylcobalamin, especially if you're over 60, as your body's ability to absorb B12 naturally declines with age. Now that we've covered 5 vitamins that, when misused, can unintentionally harm leg strength in seniors, let's turn toward empowering natural strategies you can adopt to maintain and even improve your leg strength. These steps are key to staying active and independent well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. First and foremost, keep moving. The old saying, use it or lose it, holds true especially when it comes to your legs. Light daily activities like walking, gentle chair-supported squats, or climbing stairs help preserve muscle tone, improve balance, and support healthy blood circulation. In contrast, a sedentary lifestyle can quickly lead to muscle loss and stiffness, so it's vital to weave movement into your routine every single day. Next, examine your diet, especially your carbohydrate intake. Diets high in sugar and refined carbs, like bread, pasta, and sweets, can spike insulin levels, triggering chronic inflammation and contributing to muscle breakdown. As we age, our metabolism becomes more sensitive to blood sugar changes. Cutting back on processed foods and sugars can have a dramatic effect on your strength, energy, and overall resilience. Don't underestimate the power of sunlight. Safe, regular sun exposure helps your body produce vitamin D, but it also improves mood, sleep, and hormonal balance, all of which are essential for vitality. Just 15 to 30 minutes a few times a week, especially if combined with light activity, can make a noticeable difference. Now let's talk about magnesium, one of the most underappreciated minerals for seniors. It supports muscle function, nerve communication, energy production, and helps activate vitamin D. Sadly, many people over 60 are deficient without realizing it. Foods like pumpkin seeds, spinach, and almonds are rich in magnesium, but supplementation can help as well. Look for magnesium glycinate or magnesium malate, which are easier on the digestive system and better absorbed. Alongside these efforts, remember to stay hydrated, prioritize quality protein, and get consistent, restful sleep. These simple fundamentals are often overlooked, but they form the foundation of muscle strength, coordination, and mobility as you age. The key takeaway? Approach supplementation with a thoughtful and informed mindset. Understand how nutrients interact, assess what you actually need, and whenever possible, Choose natural strategies to support your body's health from the inside out. If you found this video valuable, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to the channel. Doing so helps us continue creating content that supports healthy, empowered aging. Your legs are more than just limbs. They're your connection to freedom, strength, and everyday independence. Treat them with the care and attention they deserve. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon.